Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Matt. I'm the producer of Coffee with Cable. Speaking of Cable, he didn't show up today. I don't know where he's at, but he's not here. You know, we had a set time to be here. He's usually on time, but he's not on time today. So hopefully he's going to show up because I don't have anything for you folks today. It's going to be a very short episode if Troy doesn't show up. Well, I don't see him coming, so let's roll the intro. Maybe he'll show up by the time that's over. If you see Troy out there anywhere, tell him to get over here. I'm waiting on him.
Test, 1, 2, 3. My mic on? Good to go. Well, good morning. Sorry I'm late. At least my producer had my coffee ready, even though it's only halfway decent. You know, though, as humans, our timing and pre-planning sometimes doesn't go as planned, as you can obviously see. You know, though, who is never late? God. His timing is always perfect. God is the one who created time, and He's ultimately in control. Now, as humans, we are all guilty of this pre-planning mentality, especially our futures. Sometimes it's a good thing, but many times it's not. When we create a long-term plan in our hearts, we quickly find ourselves disappointed and frustrated, sometimes even lost. But if we confide in the Lord, He'll bring us closer to where He needs us to be. We look to get these great moments in our lives and forget to thoroughly enjoy the journey. Remember, God knows the ideal timing for you to arrive at your destination, regardless of what you might think. God directs, Proverbs 16:9. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. For me personally, I'm going through a time just like this. The timing isn't lining up to what I think should be happening. But God, I'm reminded, His ways are not our ways. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor your ways my ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55:8-9. God has an eternal perspective. God is the great I Am, who knows the past, the present, and the future, and what do we know? Really nothing. Nothing compared to God. If I were Jesus, I would have healed Lazarus right away. But Jesus wanted to stretch the faith of His disciples, who after His death would be the catalyst to taking the message of Christ to the world. They knew Jesus had the power to heal, but to raise a 4-day-old corpse? Come on now, that's taking faith to a whole new level. Knowing that God's ways aren't our ways means I have to put all my faith and trust in His ways alone. A horse trainer was telling me a very inspiring story last week that really hit home for me. You know, he's a horse wrangler by trade and been training horses for many years. And every year, he's pretty busy, training horses left and right from the morning to dusk. Well, one year, in the middle of the year, the business got really slow. No more horses to be trained. So he started to get very frustrated and down, and maybe might even have to go look for another job. Oh, he started praying and asking God, what do I do? What's my next course of action? Well, in all this praying and frustration, some family came into town to stay for a week. During this week, he kept praying and looking for guidance on what he should do and being frustrated at the same time. For that whole week, his family was in town. By the end of the week, he got a phone call from one guy that needs his horse to be trained. And the next day, a few more phone calls. His prayers had been answered. But that whole week, he was frustrated and looking for answers. And yes, his prayers were answered. But that whole week, he was frustrated. He wasn't able to enjoy himself. And God reminded him, I gave you that whole week to relax. You just needed to trust in me that I will provide the business, provide for you. So a whole other year goes by and business was great that whole year until the same time business went flat. He was reminded God gave him that time, that week off to spend with his family and to relax, trusting in God that business will again pick up. So the moral of the story is, in the times that are a season that slow down, don't be so concerned or worried that nothing's happening. Enjoy the moments that you're able to spend time with family and relax. And at the other end of it, trust in God that things will pick up because He will ultimately provide. You just have to have faith. As I'm going through this time as well, I'm reminded God's perfect timing does two things. It grows our faith as we're forced to wait and trust in God, and it makes certain that He and He alone gets the glory and praise for pulling us through any situation. My time is in your hands, Psalms 31:15. At that right time, God will provide all of our needs. Well, the coffee's about gone, even though it was okay this week. But thanks again for watching Coffee with Cable, and God willing, there'll be better coffee and I'll be on time.